Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1506. No, wait, that's not it. 1056. There we go. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Today we hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster, here at the last place on Earth, in Podcastro Valley 10.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And I had an interesting experience last night.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I went to a place close by. It's called Sinol, and there were people on stage who were really old doing a murder mystery, and people got killed and stuff. And then at the very end, there was a lot of love felt to the people that were on the stage that performed, and I'm
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Happy that I went and saw it. It was an interesting sort of a fundraiser for a school in Sinol, a small
Mike's
town
Daily
in the East Bay.
Podcast.
That's very old towny, old west sort of feeling, kind of like Niles, kind of. We have like old style America. Just like you'd expect a sheriff to come along and go, "Hey, you're not from around these parts, are yous?" And that kind of thing, that kind of craziness would happen. I had a good time. I went to a bar in Sinol where you can get a beer that comes right out of a dog. Out of the part where a dog would be peeing. You would get that. It's not a real dog. A fake dog. Apparently there was a dog that was the mayor of this town, Sinol. This is all the stuff I gather. I can't gather much. I'm more of a hunter than a gatherer, but this is what I got from the whole experience. And also this is what I got from the experience of listening to Justin Bieber songs. Apparently their songs are getting so popular, they're being played on the adult contemporary station that I work for. I thought that the day would come, if that day came, where Justin Bieber was played on this station, there would also be, four horsemen that would appear out of the sky and create judgment. Look who just walked in! Hi, Mike! It's Benita, the rodeo queen! How y'all doing?
It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
We ain't the four horsemen, we're just two horse people.
Yeah, Mike, we like horses. They're great and they're long faces. They have long faces. Horse walks into a bar. We've all heard that one. Why the long face? Yeah, heard that one.
Mark, this is great comedy. You should be writing this down.
No, I shouldn't. I won't. You can't make me.
Mark, this is great comedy. Write it down.
All right, I'm writing it down. So I found out that a young person whom I work with, really nice guy, I've spoken about him before on the show, that he's created a podcast that has to do with sports, and that's great. I don't know anything about sports, but apparently, if you want to have a lot of people instantly listen to your podcast, you've got to do a sports podcast, because this guy's already got way more people than have ever listened to this show. And he's getting email and calls from people from across the country. Do I get that? No. I tried for frickin' months with you people to do the what do you call it? The Yuletide personalized MP3 for thee contest. Every year I do that contest where all I say is, hey, all you gotta do is look who just walked in.
Hello, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh boy, why are you so mad?
I'm full of rage.
Why are you full of rage? I'll cut you.
It's not towards you. It's not towards anyone. I love everybody. No, but I spent weeks doing this contest, the Yuletide personalized MP3 for thee contest, where all you would have to do is either comment on any of the places we're on social media or email me. And I just realized something. Maybe you're sending me emails and I'm not getting them because my Gmail account, I think it's stuffed. But Mike, I thought the Gmail was infinite and it would never get stuffed. Mark, I thought the Gmail was stuffed and it would never get stuffed. That's right, Benita. That's exactly what I thought. And you know what? It does get stuffed. If you use up all of your Google Drive. Google Drive! Don't get sucked into doing Google Drive. I'm going to delete everything in my Google Drive. That's what I'm going to do. I've deleted so much out of my Google Drive and it still tells me I've used it all up. That's how Google gets you. Google says, oh, we'll give you all this storage on Google Gmail, Google, stupid name. Google. Ugh. You basically took a baby's first word and made it the name of your billion-dollar, gazillion-dollar company. I hope you get sued by Europe, you jerks. Anyway, they suck you in with the Google Drive. It's great. You can upload things to it. So I uploaded some past interviews I did on my Into It interview segment, which I don't do anymore. Yeah, I'd like to address that right now. Because this show is all about, I'm going to lay my cards out on the table here at Cafe Anyway. And I'm going to talk.
Mark, you just put your cards all over that pie I was eating.
That looked like a good pie, too.
It's delicious pie, chicken pot pie.
It looks absolutely delicious. And I'm sorry for putting my cards on top of your pie.
That's okay. You're on a rant. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mark, proceed.
Mark, would you like my knife to cut someone?
No. In fact, this is the segment Mike rips someone a new one.
Mike rips someone a new one.
This is to the podcasting community. How fickle are thee? You want new creative shows that you can't find on the radio? But do you support them? No. You go and support your stupid Ira Glass and your stupid ESPN. And anybody that comes along with a show about Marvel movies or sports, you instantly, that's the shows you get behind. But a show like this that's creative and off the wall, doesn't go in any particular direction, it goes to just wherever, you don't care for these shows? Fine. I don't need you. Well, actually, I do need you, but nah, I don't. I've decided I don't need you, so I'm just going to keep doing this show, and the cards fall where they may.
Mark, they fell on my pie like I told y'all.
Sorry, like I've said, but that's fine. That's fine. Do your thing. Go your own way. Fleetwood Mac your own way. That's what I'm saying. Because loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I when you won't take it from me? Happy Easter, by the way. Today is Easter. And I hope I'm showing a good Christian attitude today. Because it is Easter. And the rock rolled away from the tomb. And there was no Jesus. But an angel was standing on a rock and said to the mother of Jesus, hey, he's gone. He's gone away to see Simon Peter. And she went, what? Why wouldn't he want to stick around and see his mom? And he's like, well, he's got to do. That is verbatim from the Bible. Look it up. Ow, I hurt my finger as I punched the table. This table is stronger than I thought.
Yeah, it's gotta be because it's holding my pie. My chicken pot pie.
Which looks delicious, this Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
Trump 2016.
Oh, please. So Justin Bieber, to me, is the Trump of the music industry. We don't want to like him, but a lot of people are liking him, therefore he's getting successful. But we're like kind of going, who are these people that like him? Why is he so successfully? Is what I'm asking. Ugh! Please tell your friends about this show. Go to the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. Patronize the show. Don't be so patronizing, Mike. No, what I'm asking is go and click on the Amazon link, buy some stuff, and then when you do that, that helps us out. More people find out about us that because of the money that I have no idea what paragraph this is. It's like collapsing upon itself. by its sheer weight of voluminousness and voluminousness.
Mike, you need a knife.
I don't need that knife. Give me liberty or give me death. Is this a knife I see before me? Where was I? Oh, to sum up, if you'd like to help out the show, you can click on that Amazon link, and that helps us out. It doesn't change the way you shop. Just go through Mike'sDailyPodcast.com first. And then also, if you want to help us out through the PayPal, that's great. Click on that PayPal link, and you can help us out. You'll get a special greeting from all of the Cafe Anyway characters. You know, if you'd like to email us, I think maybe I've deleted enough out of my Google Drive to get some emails. You can try that. Or go to the Twitter, the Facebook, the Tumblr. We're all over the media, social media. Instagram, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. You can find us there. Like us, comment. And we read your comments on the section emails from email and your comment, not so comments. And that's all there at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. A wonderful world. Wonderful place for you and me. Holidays. Not a fan. I feel as if holidays suck as a whole because I don't have family around the Bay Area. I have friends, and I had a great time with my friends, Eric and his lovely girlfriend. We went out. We had a great time last night. I'm going to go see Robert and his lovely wife a little later on today. And they did that for Easter, and that was really nice of them, even though I get off of work at 6 and they're going to have to wait around for me to show up. That's really nice of them. I appreciate that. I think that's what we family getting together. I guess I'm kind of a loner. I guess I'm kind of a guy and his dog is what I am. I know I post a lot of pictures. Somebody at work said, "Hey, Mike, you post a lot of..." Because he was the Disgruntled Fiddle Player. I'm doing an impression of you, Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Thank you. Anyway, he's like, "Hey, Mike, how come y'all always put pictures up of you and your dog at the beach?" And I'm like, well, I like that, and I think that shows you my life. Is I like to go places with my dog and go walking. Basil the boxer. The sweet boxer that he is.
That's a wonderful story, Mike.
I know.
And a great impression.
Thank you. Mike, tell us more about that trip y'all went on Good Friday. Thank you. I was trying to get to that, and you've directed me the right direction. Yeah, it's in the script. All right, let me read this next part of the script. It says, I went to the place called Pittsburgh Bay Point. That's over in the far East Bay. The San Francisco Bay goes all the way inland. You can take parts of it to Sacramento and Stockton. Over at Pittsburgh Bay Point, there's a couple of marinas. I drove around there. I've never been there. I've lived out here almost 7 years, and I've never been there. So I had to go check it out. I went to some places I could walk. Basil. Went to Antioch, some places. There's some River Ridge. Walked around there. Went to an interesting place called Shepherd's Island, which you have to cross this bridge. You have to pay toll to cross it, but whatever. It's somewhere in the 200 range is the name of this route, and you cross this bridge, and then you make a left-hand turn. You're driving on a levee. You're driving the levee on the Chevy, and drove the Chevy on the levee till the levee was dead. And good old boys drink whiskey and rye, and this would be the day that I died. No, don't say that. Don't say you're going to die today. Live life. But, we never know when we're going to die. Gary Shandling. Ugh. That is so sad. Gary Shandling. I loved that man. I loved the Larry Sanders Show. I watched the entire season twice. The entire run of the show. All the seasons twice. That man was a genius. And then I got to see, and it's so weird, Jerry Seinfeld did a comedians driving in cars getting coffee. He did an episode with Gary Shandling, and I talked about it on the podcast when I watched it a couple weeks ago on Crackle. Crackle.com. man, the guy, I thought the guy, he was really worried. He was really worried about his health. And they talk about Robin Williams in this episode and about how he died too soon. And they had a lot. It is a fascinating conversation. You've got to watch it. You've got to watch it just to hear Gary Shandling. I don't think he knew he was going to leave us so soon at 66. I mean, what the hell is this? Glenn Frey, 66? David Bowie, 68? What the hell is going on here? Or 69. I don't get, why are all these great guys dying in their 60s lately? It is sad. It's horrible. Alan Rickman. This has been a freaking weird year. This is why you gotta listen to this podcast. I break it down for you. I break it down culturally what's happening. You may not have sat there and opened your eye, but I stay up late at night and think about these things. This show should be called Mike Stays Up All Night and Thinks About These Things podcast, but it's called Mike's Daily Podcast because it's shorter. But yeah, what happened? Gary Shandling, in this, they talk, I can't think of it right. It's been a couple weeks since I watched it, but there's a beautiful moment when they first meet. Jerry drives up to his place somewhere in the Studio City, picks him up in his car, and they hug. And Gary Shandling, and it's a moment that almost makes me want to produce a tear at this point. He hugs Jerry and he says, "I love you." Not "I love you, man," or any of that BS, but an actual "I love you" comes out of his mouth. And it's beautiful. I don't know if they saw each other after that moment. I haven't dug into the internet. I know people are looking this stuff up right now because it is a very poignant thing. Watch it. Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, Jerry Seinfeld. He's done so many great episodes, but this one, it just... Anyway, they go and see where Larry Sanders was shot. It was also the same studio Jerry's show that Seinfeld was shot, and they talk all about that. And some people see them standing in the corner, and they're kind of like people are. They're like, are those two guys really here right now? What the? And anyway, moving on. Let's do this news segment. It's called News Random.
News Random.
If Trump wins, a guide to moving to Canada. This was in the Metro, the magazine that you can find in San Jose. I love this magazine. And I'm so happy that I work in Fremont now because I can go and pick this up from the local library and other places. Who had it? I went to a place called The Depot in Fremont, which I was trying to tell Haley about, and kind of got sidetracked talking about Chasing Amy. Listen to that. That was the last episode. Really nice Filipino who grew up in Japan, who's now an American, was telling me, who owns the place, who's telling me about her life story. And as she was, and I had some delicious, what was it? It was a adobo pork sandwich, panini, cheese melted the whole bit, and at the depot in Fremont. It's an old train depot. It's actually at a railway station. You can catch the Amtrak train, head towards Sacramento with it. People take the train. It also takes you over somehow, I think takes you over to the peninsula. But they've got all the Metro newspapers sitting there. And anyway, Josh Cohen did this really great article. He said, Donald Trump's presidential campaign shows no signs of slowing down in the wake of violent clashes between supporters and protesters, suggesting democracy really was in need of a roundhouse to the junk in between candidates defending their own members. But not everyone seems ready to jump on the Trump train. It's huge. And advocate for curb stomping. In fact, some people are dusting off an oath from the W days, claiming they're going to move to Canada if Trump wins the race for president. For those with bags packed, or half-packed. Jay Rosenthal, a former Silicon Valley political consultant, is here to help. He's created the helpful how-to website, If Trump, Then Canada. That's a computer thing, right? What do you call it? An if-then statement. You use it in coding. Best known for working on Mayor Sam Liccardo's council campaigns and for helping lead the Chamber of Commerce's policy and political operations under Jim Cunning, Rosenthal is also widely believed to be the founder and the original author of the anonymous links blog The Daily Fetch. In 2012, possibly sensing impending political doom, he moved to Toronto with his wife and family. San Jose Inside, the name of this column, asked Rosenthal a few questions by email about his new website. San Jose Inside asked, "Are you sure Canada is cool with this?" And Rosenthal responded, "Canada is embracing the words atop the Statue of Liberty, giving you're tired, you're poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." Can you imagine hearing those words from President Trump? Rosenthal asks. How does Trump compare to Rob Ford? That now recently, I can't believe Rob Ford, well, Rob Ford, you know, he lived pretty hard, that guy, Rob Ford. He's no longer with us. He died last week. But the Metro asked, how does Trump compare to Rob Ford? To my knowledge, Donald Trump never smoked crack, but the populist, anti-intellectual crack pottery is similar. However, and this is important, Rob Ford was not a racist and always came across as a likable, jolly guy, kind of like Santa, even if he was completely unprepared for office and sometimes high on crack. Ask yourself, would you rather have a jolly, friendly leader that sometimes smokes crack, or an angry, bigoted neo-Nazi leader that doesn't smoke crack? I'm taking crack smoking over the Nazism. When asked, when you say healthcare is free in Canada, how much are we talking? Rosenthal responded, not to get all universal healthcare is better on you, but infant mortality rates are lower in Canada, life expectancy is longer in Canada, and Canada spends about 10% of GDP on healthcare, whereas the US spends roughly 16%. Rosenthal was asked, have there been any reports of Americans sneaking across the border? If so, how are they treated? And Rosenthal joked, Parliament just passed a resolution to treat American refugees in Canada the way Syrian refugees are being treated in the U.S. Americans are currently being barred from entering certain provinces and are being bad-mouthed at right-wing political rallies. And finally, what's the difference between Canadian dollars and the American dollars? Will they still be exchangeable after the election? Rosenthal said, assuming that President Donald Trump doesn't do for the American dollar what he's done for his business 4 times, the U.S. dollar is roughly 25% more valuable than the loonie. Will U.S. dollars be exchangeable post-election? We shall see. And that's that. Well, the premise was funny for the article. I don't know if it delivered at the end. But whatever. Donald Trump, Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
Yeah, stay away from my pie.
As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture is of somebody that was on their hang glider flying in Half Moon Bay. And a guy looking at him. A beautiful, interesting, it's not me looking at him, but this yellow sort of parachute and he's flying along. It's an interesting picture. See that now at mikesdailypodcast.com. Mike, I thought this show was very interesting and I feel sad about Gary Shandling. I think we all should. He left us too soon. I don't get it. I'm done with it. I'm done with the people passing away that I like. Let's stop that. They say Gary Shandling died of a heart attack, which is weird because the article also said there was no history of a heart attack in his family. People weren't dying of heart attacks in his family, so it's not a genetic thing. Something weird went on. I'm sure we'll find out more as time goes on, hopefully. I'd like to know what took him. too early, in my opinion. Thank you for listening to the show. Next show, we'll probably have Haley. We'll definitely have Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Enjoy the rest of your Easter. And if you get a chance and you're in the Bay Area, definitely check out Pittsburgh Bay Point. Oh, if you go to Pittsburgh and you go to that New York Marina Harbor, there is a place called Kite Coffee that I went to. It is one of the nicest locations I've ever seen a coffee house sandwich shop ever. It's like right on the marina, beautiful outdoor seating. It is perfect. There's nothing like that anywhere in the Bay that I've seen. So that's one good thing about Pittsburgh Bay Point for sure. And then the other cool thing would be that Shepherd's Island. It is a bit of a drive. You have to drive along the levee till the Chevy was dry, till the levee was dry, whatever. You got to drive along that, but that's a really neat place to see. Beautiful right now. It's green. The windmills are going. I'll have to post podcast pictures of that in upcoming podcasts. Tell your friends about this show. Email me. Comment. Don't let the sports podcasts win, or if you do like sports podcasts, whatever.